That's a really interesting question because it makes me think about examining two different things. One is that if you are an artist that people think of as reinventing themselves, it might just be because you're trying to make an effort not to repeat yourself.
Sure.
You don't have to go so far as reinvention to achieve that, but for the same reasons you wouldn't want to tell the same joke the same way twice. You just have an urge to embellish something or reapproach it. And then in the times where I feel like I've probably been after something that would be closer to the definition of reinvention, it seems to me like it's because I'm like looking back on something that I did and maybe articulated to a degree where I'm like, oh, that was too stiff, or that was too folky, or that was, like it was. I can see my own motives in it, which I maybe that's what I am kind of. I'm like, oh, I can't. I gotta cut that. I gotta cut that out. It's a weird balance between wanting to do something that people will understand what your intentions were in it, and then when you do something and you feel like it's misunderstood, like somebody hears it as or calls it, it's a folk, a folk project, or some, like they quantify it, and then you go, well, that's not what I was trying to do, so the next one you go into it kind of thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna let anybody hear the folk in this.
Yeah, I've just followed my nose sort of musically, really, and I'm interested in so much different music that I never really consciously thought I'm going to reinvent myself. But I may have got tired with certain things I was playing, and just I'm still interested to find new stuff, basically. So that's where it comes for me. I mean, taking on the gig with The Who, that was pretty insane.
Sure.
In 2002, I certainly never thought I'd be playing with The Who. And I didn't know how long that would last. It ended up me touring with them for 14 years and recording. And so, yeah, that was a really interesting challenge because musically, my bass style, wasn't probably what most people would have considered would fit with The Who.
Mm-hmm.
But my relationship was more with Pete, and when he asked me to join, I knew that I'd be able to just do me kind of thing. So that was one of those examples, perhaps. And then another one would be I got to play on a Nine Inch Nails album. Trent invited me in to collaborate on, and then I ended up touring with those guys. And yeah, again, that was a learning process for me, and an incredible one.
I feel like I have imposter syndrome when we go out and play some of this music live. Yeah, it's really challenging, especially when we listen back to what we've made and kind of try to deduce what's going on there, because it's kind of when you're working on something in stages and building it by layers, it's kind of hard to tell what it is until it's done, and then you go, okay, we have to play this music. What's really going on here, and you start to peel stuff away and look for the fundamentals of it. And every time I've sat down to do that, I feel like I'm learning a new song, not one that like I was a part of creating, or writing, or playing. It really feels like unfamiliar to me, and it is challenging and exciting, and it keeps me on my toes.